and I saw a boat come by me that was probably a 20-foot boat, 21, and I could hear some chatter on the radio, some screaming on the radio, and didn't know it at that time, but it was that boat. And I told my clients, I said, keep an eye on him. I don't think he's going to make it.
Hi, I'm Randy Vance. Today I'm with Tales from Channel 16, sponsored by ICOM America VHF Radios. I've got a very special guest on board today, Red Flowers, who is representing the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation, an organization that's dedicated to finding the ultimate cure for children's cancer. Their objective is to provide research funding to find the least toxic, most targeted, most effective cures for children. And Red Flowers is a retiring captain who is taking on a very important missionary role. Red, tell us about it.
Hey, thank you, Randy. So years ago, about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma and was started treatments there. And during our treatments, my wife and I obviously spent a lot of time in the hospital, and we were right alongside the pediatrics. And it wasn't till then till I realized the amount and the number of children that are suffering from this disease. It was horrible. I couldn't believe it. And as time went on, we learned more and more about it. So my wife, Tammy, and I decided that if I was able to live a normal life afterwards or get out of that and was capable of it, we were going to do something about it. And here's where we stand now. And a group of myself and a couple buddies were out in a boat one day fishing, and the Great Loop was brought up. I knew nothing about it, went home and did a little research. And being a pretty competitive guy, race boat driver for many years when I was younger, I just decided that, well, heck, that's pretty cool. I think I'll try to set a record and run that Great Loop in record time and raise $1 million for pediatric cancer. And after doing our research on several recipients, it was quite obvious that National Pediatric Cancer Foundation was the place to join with. And we approached them and told them our plan, and they opened their arms up to us, and we're scheduled for takeoff after all these years of planning. This coming Saturday at 2 p.m.
Tales from Channel 16 are brought to you by ICOM America, the makers of the most professional grade VHF radios on the water. The new ICM510 EVO allows you to control the radio, make calls, receive calls, and monitor AIS information from up to 3 smartphones. The EVO also provides you with a 25-watt hailer, both inward and outward, giving you the complete on-the-water communications solution. So we're a little bit about VHF radios here. You've heard a lot come across the air. Give me a couple of examples of the most interesting calls you've heard.
You know, the one that sticks with me to this day, we were tarpon fishing. I literally was out of Canaveral. We run out with my charter that morning. We'd catch quite a few tarpon on the beach, and we run north up the beach about 3 miles down there in front of the Cape, and it got bad. I mean, that wind picked up and storms come in, and I, we're not perfect as charter captains. I messed around waves a little too long to get rolling, and I saw a boat come by us. The waves were so big it was insane when I went around the point. And, what you do is you adjust your speed for the conditions. And that's what I was doing. And I saw a boat come by me that was probably a 20-foot boat, 21. And I could hear some chatter on the radio, some screaming on the radio, and didn't know it at that time, but it was that boat. And I told my clients, I said, keep an eye on him. I don't think he's going to make it. The waves are too big, and he's headed toward the beach, and He's heading the wrong way. He's out of control. And we'd lose sight of him in the waves, and he'd come back up, and we'd lose sight of him again, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I actually turned towards him and started following him towards the beach. And when we got up pretty close, I saw the engine go up in the air and the boat flip over upside down. And flying on the boat with me said there were 3 people in that boat. And I called the Coast Guard right then. I done a mayday. And those guys, let me tell you, when you do a mayday like that, that Coast Guard comes on, they were on it. They were straight up. And the next thing I know, I saw a guy crawl up on the beach. And I said, there's 1 in sight, 2 missing. And I was hovering. I couldn't get to them, but I was hovering in the waves. We were taking waves over on the boat. And long story short, another one come up on the beach. And next thing I know, the 3rd one crawled up on the beach, and it was a good ending.
We also have Chris Geib from the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation on, and he's one of the board members of the group that's been involved in raising funds that, and he's involved with you. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about how you can contribute to this endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this project and where he's going and kind of the inspiration that Red's given everyone is there's a lot of awareness components too. So we're on all social media. If you just look up the Great Luke Challenge, and there's you can donate $5, you can donate $500, whatever you feel, whatever you can do, and please share all the social media as well.
I'm Randy Vance with Tales from Channel 16 with Red Flowers, and Chris Geib from the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Thanks a lot, guys. It's great to have you here. Tales from Channel 16 are brought to you by ICOM America, the makers of world-class VHF marine communications equipment and the official VHF radio of Boating Magazine's cover shoots.